Good morning, everyone. Royce Miller coming back at you with yet another installment of my ongoing series, Propped Up. I kind of minced my intros again, but we're going to power through it because I like doing these in one take. Anyway, today on the docket, I decided to highlight a gift my cousin got me last Christmas. So this one might require a bit of an introduction. I'm going to show it, and let's see if any of you can recognize it. This little octagonal piece is supposed to depict a rooster. It is the Rooster Talisman from Jackie Chan Adventures. So my cousin got all 12 of these and gave gave me, my brother, and his brother the ones that reflected the years we were born. So my brother got the pig. I forget what year my other cousin was born in. 96. I don't know what animal that is. Sorry. Anyway, so what are the talismans? In the show Jackie Chan Adventures, the evil draconic demon Shendu was imprisoned in a stone tablet of, not a tablet, like he was imprisoned in this large statue thing. It's like a big circle with his face in the middle. And to free him, he needs all 12 of his powers restored to him. Each of these powers is contained in a stone talisman, each depicting one of the 12 Chinese Zodiac. The Chinese Zodiac is based on the Chinese New Year. They have a base 12 system versus our base 10 system. Well, actually, come to think of it, the Gregorian, is it Gregorian or Julian calendar? Or the calendar we use has 12 months in it, so technically that's also base 12, but whatever, your mileage may vary. Anyway, the Chinese New Year goes on a 12 interval going through 12 different animals based on an old myth about a figure called the Jade Emperor holding a grand race where 12 animals raced each other to determine what their placement would be in the Zodiac. The rooster was 10. Kind of pretty slow there. Out of 12. Which, mind you, includes so the pig would have been last then, because my brother's 2 years younger than me. My sister's the ox. So wait a minute. Oh my goodness, wait, so my cousin's the year of the rat, I think. Which means that... So wait, that means that the rat was first and the ox was second? Am I thinking about that right? Because I'm 4 years older than my sister. So 2 years to my brother, that's the pig, that's 12. Then another 2 years to my sister, that's the ox, that's 2. And I know that the rat got first because he was standing on the head of the ox, one of the animals, I think it's the ox, and then he jumped over the finish line. I think that's how it goes, I'm not sure. But that's weird that the ox is supposed to be the fastest animal in a zodiac that includes horses, dogs, and dragons. Whatever. Anyway, back to the fun popcorn stuff. Jackie Chan Adventures. This might have been the best celebrity endorsed cartoon. And it's weird to think, nowadays you have ironic endorsement, like the Mike Tyson mystery show that's on Adult Swim, or you have celebrity celebrities that team up to create a product that exists outside the celebrity but is heavily influenced by the celebrity. Disney's been doing this a lot. First with Weird Al with Milo Murphy's Law, and now with Ashley Birch in The Ghost and Molly McGee. Both involve the musical stylings of said performers as well as them voicing the characters. But Jackie Chan Adventures was weird because it didn't have Jackie Chan voicing the main character. That was or voicing himself. That was actually done by a very famous Asian American voice actor who also does like voice work for Jackie Chan. Like I do believe he plays Monkey in the Kung Fu Panda TV series. And you'll know him if you hear him. He's in a ton of stuff. But and then it's a good show because like it combines a lot of like mysticism and fun stuff with a lot of archaeology, kind of the Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider stuff, and then also just kind of the more slapstick martial arts that Jackie Chan was known for in in his Hong Kong films. Or I don't know if they were Hong Kong, because there's so much weird stuff with Hong Kong and China, and I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting into it. Politics are not here today. But also the show had a fantastic voice cast in general because while I don't know a lot of the actors, which is my fault unfortunately, I do know that it did have Clancy Brown as not one but two characters. He plays Ratso, one of the henchmen to, I forget the guy's name, like Lamont or something, a very posh British dude who serves Shendu. And then he also plays Captain Black, who's kind of the Nick Fury of the series. He's, the secret agent type who's helping Jackie research and recover the talismans. And he runs something called like Section 8 or Section 13, something like that. And so each of these each of these talismans has a different power. Some of them feel a tad redundant, like the dragon one gives you pyrokinesis, but the pig one gives you laser eyes. I feel like that's kind of double dipping. And then the horse and the dog have very similar ones. The horse is healing and the dog is like immortality. And it's like, why do you need one if you have the other? But then again, it does show that like, the dog is more about eternal youth and the horse is more about healing physical wounds. Like in an episode where the British bad guy is turned into a kid, he gets his hands on the horse. Well, this is kind of going further into the series than I need to, but the horse talisman has been destroyed and the power has gone into a real horse, and so he gets on the horse and asks the horse to cure him of his curse that's making him a kid, and it doesn't do that. So obviously there are limits to the healing power of the talisman. But it's when all 12 are united that they're at their most powerful too. Shendu is this like great king of demons. He's got like a bunch of siblings who all have different crazy powers. And like the show has a lot of lore to it, like a lot of lore. For example, the Shendu has these minions that are like creepy shadow ninjas. And I forget what they're called, but like, the Shadow Khan, that's what they're called. And then you find out later on that they're actually the creation of an Oni, not a Chinese demon, but an Oni, which is a Japanese demon. I forget what Chinese demons are called. I believe they're called Yaoguai, which is where the name of the Fallout bear comes from. and you can kind of see the like mixing of languages between Japan and China, where Yao Guai, yokai. It's very similar to how Caesar, like the Roman emperor, is also became Kaiser and Czar. It's like countries that develop close to each other tend to share a little bit of the culture. Anyway, back to this. And this is actually both the first talisman that is recovered, and one of the first powers we see is levitation. Jade, who's Jackie's niece. Oh my god, there's so much lore to this show. Okay, so Jackie is an archaeologist working at his grandfather's, no, at his great uncle's, at his uncle's antique shop. And he finds out that he has to take care of his niece, Jade, who comes over from China, even though she has an American accent. Just buy into it. And so he somehow recovers this, and they're eating at a Chinese restaurant later on, and Jade is just scarfing down her food. The talisman somehow falls into her soup, and she eats it, and then she gets levitation powers from it. And so, it kind of becomes like almost like Birds of Prey, where the girl where the girl swallows the diamond, and people are trying to get her to, trying to, so, the bad guys want to carve it out of her. But so then, Jackie's, then Jackie and Uncle have this, like, wild adventure saving her and stuff. And like there's a lot of the creator for Jackie Chan Adventures actually went on to make the Batman 2005 series, and you see a lot of that, and like the character designs are very sharp and angular, and I think that's interesting because I always thought that Bruce Wayne in that series looked a little like, I thought he might have been Asian American. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. Maybe because he looked a lot like Jackie Chan does in Jackie Chan Adventures. But, who can say? Uh, oh, dang it. I had written down here the phrase you're supposed to say for the Chinese New Year. Gong hei fat choi. Because I was going to be like, oh, like, Happy New Year, everyone. Like, well, it's 2 years away from the year of the rooster. Besides which, no, wait, no, not 2 years. 2017 was the last year of the rooster, so it's going to be 2030. Yeah, it's going to be 2030 for the next year of the rooster. Base 12. But now that I trying to think like what else there is to say, because there's so much to say about this. Well, about the show anyway. Because my like as a kid I would have killed for the talismans, but nowadays it's been so long since I've seen the show that I think I do need to rewatch it, because there's a lot of interesting episodes, especially later on, because I kind of fell off because, well, I mean, same reason I fell off of a lot of shows around that time, like Dragon Ball Z, was because we lost access to TV. Our parents were like, "Hey, you kids are spending too much time watching TV. We're gonna take it out of your room." So that was the thing. And then Dad hooked it up like a couple years later, like, we need the electric babysitter again. God, like people love to blame millennials and Zoomers for being like, "Oh, you kids were raised on too much TV." Yeah, because our parents didn't want to bother with us. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't want, if you don't want your kid to end up looking like me, then you should probably take an interest in their life, not forcing your ideas on them. My dad tried that with my brother, and now my brother hates my dad. But I think, like, unfortunately, as cool as like Shendu and the demons are, they did take a back seat. One of the characters that was like sort of a minor antagonist early on kind of developed into the main villain for a while. I believe his name was Dalong Wong, and he is voiced by, oh god, oh, he's such an iconic actor too. Oh no, forgetting his name is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I'm gonna put it in the description maybe, and hopefully I'll forgive myself. But he's that. I can. Oh, you know what? He played the bad guy in Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. Um, he had a cameo in R.I.P.D., which I hate that that's one of the first things I think of for him. But what can you do? He was the advisor in Mulan. And then, but I think the thing most people remember from that show is probably Uncle and his many, like, catchphrases. Like, magic must defeat magic. Or his incantation, which was, Dumo Gwe Gwe Fighty So, Dumo Gwe Gwe Fighty So. Which I'll have to look up if that's actually a thing. I should have done more research for this one. Like, I thought, like, oh man, I'm so well researched for this. I have the placement of the rooster and the phrase you say at Chinese New Year written down. But I mean, it's cool. This is cool. This was gotten off Etsy, and it is 3D printed. However, it is hollow. I will say I would have preferred something weighted because it is supposed to be a stone talisman. Also, the way it holds, it's supposed to be a lot smaller. Again, this is supposed to be something that a 10-year-old girl was supposed to have accidentally swallowed. Also, with the size it is now, I kind of want to do it like Power Rangers, like Mastodon. Another great Saturday morning cartoon, but that was Fox. We're talking about Kids WB, which, man, Kids WB, that was my jam as a kid. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Jackie Chan Adventures, Teen Titans, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, just premium content. And yes, there were some bad ones. Or, well, I wouldn't even say that they were bad necessarily, they just weren't my cup of tea. You had Coconut Fred, I think that's what it was called. It was like Rob Paulson was a coconut, and it was like ripping off SpongeBob, and that is Rob Paulson's words, not mine. There's also Viva Pinata, which... Oh, there was also Sonic X, which was another show that I didn't watch. The only Sonic show I watched was The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which everyone hates, but I think is actually just a really good, like, absurdist cartoon. It's one of those dumb cartoons you grow up with and you think is a lot of fun, but when everyone else looks at it, they're like, this sucks. But it led to a lot of good meme content. And I still have an awful image, which I'm sure our friend of the show, Trucker Kyle for you, will appreciate. An image of Robotnik's fat behind just shaking like a can of Jell-O on a piano bench as he, like, sings a song. Burned into my retinas from when it was on Toon Disney. Anyway, trying to think, like Kids WB, Jackie Chan Adventures. Oh, so the only thing Jackie Chan actually was part of for the show was that at the end of the at the end of the show, Jade's voice actress would read out a question from the audience, and Jackie would answer it, and it would usually be something relating to the episode or his film career or his life as a martial artist, something like that. But it's interesting because the show had so much. Oh my god, Shaolin Showdown! How did I forget about Shaolin Showdown? That was another one on Kids WB that was really good. And like, although even though it had and it did have an Asian American creator, I still don't know how I feel about Omi, a yellow colored Chinese character played by Tara Strong doing a very thick Chinese accent. Make of that what you will. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's weird how high quality Jackie Chan Adventures was because it had so much style, but also a lot of substance. It had a lot of plot driven narrative. Um, you have this character, or it's centered around Jackie Chan as a person, but he's not a movie star. He's just an archaeologist, like an Indiana Jones type archaeologist, but still an archaeologist. But and then he's fighting all these you have recurring characters. You have a thief named Viper, a luchador named El Toro, and um and Toru. I think his name is Toru, who is a like sumo wrestler and starts off as a henchman but becomes a good guy. Oh man, that reminds me. John DiMaggio played the Toru's replacement on the bad guy team. Who he was like this very he looked almost like Akuma from Mortal Kombat, or not, from Street Fighter, with or almost like Goku with his hair, but he was, or like SSJ3 Goku's hair. But so he had big red hair and a Fu Manchu, and he would, he was strong and stuff. So he was like a muscular martial artist, a tall one too. Anyway, it was just so interesting to see a celebrity driven cartoon that got that much time and care and love put into it, because they could have phoned it in. It could have been the Ghostbusters cartoon Filmation made to cash in on the Sony film, or well, Columbia TriStar at the time. Or it could have been like Rubik's Cube Sad AM, or Chuck Norris's Commandos, or whatever that show was called. Instead, you got this funny, and engaging cartoon that included a lot of lore to it. They cover a lot of actual Chinese mythology, and later on Japanese mythology, and even a little bit of American and European mythology. There's the Blarney Stone. There's Spring-Heeled Jack. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for me today. This one ran kind of long, even though I didn't think it would. Y'all have a good one. This is Royce Miller, signing out.